That's enough, damn it.
That was
Wait, before hold on. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna give you something to drink real fast. I'll be right.
Y'all wild, man. Y'all wild as fuck. I love this tribe. Couldn't ask for a better united group here.
Except for Manchester.
What's wrong with them now? I mean, they haven't had a team for a long time, so like, what's the problem?
Nothing. They're just a good soccer team. Manchester United, the best.
They didn't win anything last time, did they?
No, Chelsea won. But you need to believe that they're going to do it sometime.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, come on, indeed. They're going to win.
No, they're not, man. And if anything, we need to focus into the now with the NFL.
Well, my team's beat up on backup quarterbacks, so there's that. And Madden 22 is pretty bad, so there's that too. Wait, Marco, weren't you the one that was like optimistic about Madden 22?
Yeah, he's going to get something to drink, man.
Yeah,
the thing about it is he's a Cowboys fan, so don't worry about him too much.
Yeah,
his opinion doesn't really matter.
Running away because he knows the truth. He knows that Madden 22 is garbage.
He knows that they overpaid for Dak Prescott too. But anyway,
ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
Well,
if anything, I'd say no. I'd say they'd
who would they have that would be better? Who would be better than Dak Prescott?
Exactly.
Were you gonna do another run with Andy Dalton? No, probably not.
Let Andy Dalton prove himself.
Jesus.
No, he's an okay quarterback, but I mean, didn't they have that theory? We'll win just fine with Andy Dalton over Prescott now that he's injured. Well, no, they didn't. They didn't even come close.
That's very true. But nobody throws a perfect spiral like Brandon Whedon.
So true. Nobody does. But no, I mean, oh man, wait, didn't Whedon play for the Cowboys? And he was like, I don't know, he wasn't that good or something. And then he like went to the Texans and he like started winning all like the games that he played randomly as a backup.
That's exactly what happened.
Alice was like infuriated about it.
Yeah. I mean, but they got the legendary Dak. He doing all right for him. No, he's not. He doing whatever he can.
Dak absolutely amazes me. Like, how could he have? Okay, let me get this straight. I mean, you had Des Bryant, right, who was averaging around 1,000 receiving yards a year until Dak started playing, and then he just sucked. What happened with that? Does Dak just not have an arm to make Des Bryant good, or what's going on with that?
Did
they just beat the Chargers, sir?
What?
Hello.
Oh, nobody gives a damn about when you won, you bad.
I mean, let's think about this. So I heard, before we get going, I heard a lot of ESPN cope because it seems like Tom Brady is not the top headline this week yet again with his team. Okay. So did you guys happen to catch, and I mean, everyone's got their team, but did you happen to catch how there was a mad amount of cope for the fact that like the Chargers lost? Like another like brand new team that got moved that they dumped a bunch of money into, that everyone's like, how that's not even, there's like a whole, like, why would they call that like the shift as being offsides? Yeah. It's just like hilarious to me. Anyways, keep going. I agree about the Des Bryant thing. Yeah. Yeah. The next day after the Chargers game, there was a lot of, I can't believe this, because the Chargers also just moved back to LA. So, yeah.
Oh, they're having that problem.
Yeah. Kind of like, like, the Cowboys weren't shit because Tom Brady kind of won a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, like Tom Brady can do no wrong, man. He's a media darling. He is amazing at what he does. All American. He's all about the game. He never deflated any balls.
He took a pay cut just so that he could get his team.
And he's in Tampa.
I know he spent like 10 years making like $80 million a year. Mm-hmm. Like he took a pay cut. Who gives a fuck?
Right?
He did it for the team, guys.
It wasn't even a drop in the hat, though. That's the thing.
That's like when Bill Gates was like, "Guys, just so you know, I'm doing the right thing, and I'm quitting my job at Microsoft."
And Jeff Bezos did the same thing.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, dude, aren't you already like don't you fucking own the earth?
And still gets a check.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, it was like John Elway quitting his position in Denver and just promoting himself.
That's like when Jordan came out of retirement to become a basketball player again.
No, that didn't happen.
Just to show up everybody.
Didn't the Wizards fire him right after he did that? Like, okay, well, you were done. Well, you're gone now. Sorry.
Yeah.
You lost your job.
He managed to, as owner, fire himself.
Well, that's how he had to get that fluid drained out of his knee.
I know. That's how he did it. He just pissed it out after every game moving it around.
See, now that's the real Last Dance.
But isn't that what the documentary's called? The Last Dance?
Yeah, but like Scottie Pippen actually has a tell-all book out now. I've been meaning to actually go and read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See exactly what he said, like what was going through his mind at the time. It'd be like going through O.J. Simpson's mind during his last times.
It's one page. It just says, "Man, fuck Jordan."
Oh, yeah, and the rest is just like blank pages that are filled in by like I could have had this.
It's like it's like The Shining. No free throws and no dunks make Scotty go crazy.
That gives me an idea of J.R. Smith's memoirs. I will remember the score.
Yeah, you remember the scoreboard. Time's ticking down.
My Time with LeBron by Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, great coffee table book.
Right there next to Madonna's Sex.
Yuck.
No, that's for the bathroom.
Yeah, that's for like when you're standing in the shower for a little too long. You know what I mean?
Well, I figured it was one of those books that you have in the restroom where you forget your phone and you're taking a shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's what she meant by justify my love.
Yeah. That's what Papa Don't Preach was about.
But did she in the end keep her baby, though?
They were in love. So please.
First of all, guys, it was a prop baby.
Hey, didn't Madonna date A-Rod?
Who didn't?
A-Rod dated a lot of people.
Yeah, like he had her, and then he went and had J-Lo, and then
Roy Wilson.
He also choked at the series too, and a lot of people lost money, but that was why.
Yeah, you could lose and then go back home and fuck J-Lo. I think I'd be all right.
Yeah.
Why would she have ever attempted to put Mark Anthony's penis in her mouth? If you look at that, if you look at Mark Anthony, you look at J-Lo, do you think that was not some sort of arranged marriage?
Man, that was entrapment. If anything, she was feeling her biological clock, and she was watching The Substitute at one time, and then heard I Need to Know, and then she was like, "Yeah, I can make this work."
You said The Substitute?
Yeah, remember he was the main bad guy in that? I was like, yeah.
How do I reach these kids? Oh, that's the wrong movie. My bad.
Might as well have been. They should have had Escalante in there.
Stand and deliver them to the ER. The Substitute.
And Neil Diamond Phillips in there. I need more books, Holmes.
You said Neil Diamond Phillips? You mean Blue Diamond Phillips?
Well, whatever. There's so many damn diamonds, dude.
Neil Diamond Neil Diamond Phillips. That's fucking nuts. That's crazy.
Hey, but yeah, like you could tell it wasn't gonna last. You could tell it was just gonna be like one of those, hey, let's help her make a baby. The end.
Before we get started, do you guys remember that? Speaking of like forgotten kind of B substitute teacher revenge movies, did you guys ever see 187 with Sam Jackson?
No, I never did. Is it good?
It's actually really good. And comes home and they hang his dog over his fence.
Oh,
that makes him go crazy.
Well, yeah, it would.
Yeah, I think so.
He was John Wick before John Wick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do with Connie Crows, and the dog was just hanging around.
He was Jamal Wick.
Jamal Wick in the house.
Yeah.
He ain't taking shit from nobody.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. It ain't loaded, baby. Boom.
He's dead.
I was recently listening to, I was watching a music video when I was during my break, and I saw Usher, You Remind Me. Did anybody notice he was humping a pole? It's freaking weird.
Yeah.
I still have nightmares about that.
I don't know. I might have saw it and I was traumatized for years, but like for years, and then now I like remember it. I just don't remember him ever humping a pole in the music video.
He hasn't been the same after he broke up with Chili.
Well, because he had it bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
guys, I'm gonna punch my computer screen. No, that was good. Actually, that was really good. I like that. Yeah, I forgot that he dated like Chili. I forgot about that. You know what's funny is T-Boz, right? Is the T in TLC?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it's like waking up next to that like deep throated fucking cigarette smoker voice? That like, hey, like, because that's actually saying, yeah. Like,
well,
damn.
You know that voice did make a bunch of money at one time, so I mean, you're gonna have to deal with it after a while.
Usher, why didn't you love me, baby?
So I creep.
What do you mean I don't turn you on anymore? I don't know.
Go get me a coffee.
Don't you worry about it, baby. I'll get you coffee and shit like that. Just don't talk no more.
You go on like on a wild guess and you try to give her a cigarette. She goes, I don't smoke. What do you think? I'm crazy. You're like, oh shit.
Yo, shit.
Give me the stock report.
Okay. Just don't talk no more. Or coming home at night and shit, and then all of a sudden you hear that.
Now, Usher.
Yes, Satan.
I'm signing now, my lord.
What was the name of the guy that helped Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire?
Oh, dude.
yeah, him.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
He was in Independence Day too, wasn't he? Like,
Yeah,
he had
he was
that
also-
raspy voice.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he
also
was,
in The Simpsons and shit.
He was David's weird. Wasn't he like? He was David's weird friend who like. I gotta call my mother. That guy.
Yeah.
What an
You know the-
asshole.
You
I
know
gotta
what the
call
most
him-
bullshit part of Independence Day was? Remember that when that fucking dog like dodges the
You know,
fire
Al
going down
talks
the
about that
tunnel?
all the time.
I do talk about that all the time.
That's
Fucking
so
bullshit.
fucking. That dog would have caught on fire like mid leap.
Okay, I gotta know what is the hype. I don't get like why people like Tremors so much. I saw like one of the movies and I thought it was really mediocre.
Well, which one was that, Al?
I don't remember which one. I just saw one. It was
Well,
like, oh,
you
it's Tremors.
chimed in, man. You could have had at least a damn frame of reference.
It was. I don't know. They're probably
There's like
all the
5 of
same.
them.
They're probably
Yeah,
all the
well,
same.
there's 6 of them now.
Yeah.
They're probably all the same. I mean, I think it'd be better if there was Tremors in the Hood or something. They'd probably
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
the Tremors to make a new rap tape with them. Be like, "Yo, we got Tremors in the Hood," and they put like a headset on them, but hoping the.
Oh,
Tremors
why
can
the hell does
rap.
everything have to be in the hood with you?
I like the. I've never heard the phrase rap tape.
I'm sorry, it's a new thing. It's gonna be the new thing. Mixtapes were a thing in the past. It's now just rap tape. They're gonna try to merge it all together. You know?
The rap tape.
Yeah, exactly. See,
The Alan Navarre rap tape.
it's
no
gonna be a
kidding.
2-for-1. It's not only gonna be a rap album, but also it's gonna be pre-rap. So like when you send it to USPS, it's gonna be so much easier to do.
Jesus Christ, man.
Save the
Fuck a
money.
mixtape. I want a rap tape.
You heard what Mustafa said. He said, fuck, I want a rap tape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck a mixtape.
Yeah, fuck, we don't got time for mixtapes.
Matter of fact,
Damn right.
That's what I'm gonna. That's what I'm calling my record. I'm calling it a rap tape.
Rap tape.
The rap tape.
No vocals, just pure instruments.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Tape.
For the intro, you gotta be like, man, you guys ready? Like something's coming.
Man, the state of the art rap tape.
Rap tape. I gotta
You
say
got
that
it.
for the promo.
Yeah, that's how you're gonna do it. And then
Well,
Hey
Al-
kids, you want to listen to rap tape?
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's a rap tape.
Yeah.
comes with a kazoo too, so you can have your own beats.
Yes.
Comes with the BLM pamphlet.
Oh, hell no. All right, now.
And, and one
That
free
woman
coupon
doesn't
for a
need-
chicken
that-
sandwich.
That woman does not need any more money from us. I mean, if anything,
I'll
Oh,
take
fuck
that
that.
chicken
There's a-
sandwich though.
There
Yeah.
is a coupon for a bucket of chicken.
hell yeah.
Oh no, it's Church's.
Hey.
It's Church's chicken. You're like, yuck, I don't want this shit.
Good for
Hey,
one bucket
hey,
of fried
Church-
chicken.
Church's
at
is
BP
okay.
between 5 o'clock and
It ain't as good as
5:30.
Popeyes, though.
You know, it'd be sick if like the Church's like the rap tape CD was at the bottom of the bucket of chicken.
Oh, my God. And it still plays.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's straight fire. You know, it's hot. You know?
It's heating. It's keeping the chicken hot. How do you think it got there? Like
yeah,
that?
exactly.
That's how I pop
That's
my
the-
popcorn. I put the wrap tape under it and I just kind of shake it around a little bit.
And then
And
pop,
just-
pop, 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 pop.
Yeah. Constant.
If I-
Do not put in your CD player. It will burst into flames.
Be warned. Be warned. This wrap tape here that I put in the popcorn, popping. You know,
Yes.
like,
Popping,
straight up.
That should be like the extra single you get with it.
oh yeah. And then the last track, the bonus track should be "It's Corny in Here" with the popcorn. You know,
Nice. Hey, speaking of which, Al, like,
I thought about that for 10
Speaking of
seconds.
corny, Al.
How dare you?
that is so fucked up.
Jay gave the segue. He was like, anyway.
I said,
what were you gonna say,
speaking
Jay?
of which, Al, I was going
Oh,
to
sorry.
describe to him like what we do here. Like, this is state of the art, Al. Like, this is another little come together show with everybody else in the tribe. Like how Marco and
together.
Mustafa have their own projects, and we got our own stuff. Like, this is a combination show, team
Like
up
a
show,
central hub. Yeah. If you got an OnlyFans you want to promote or
you know?
Yeah,
that's
I have
gonna
an
be-
only fan account. It's basically just me putting money into an account.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
private.
it's my PayPal.
Yeah, it's in my only account. It's in my fans only account, but it's set to private. And you're the only person who has it.
Mine is just like mine is called OnlyFlans. And what it is,
Flans.
it's me putting my dick in like Mexican yogurt.
Oh dang! I want.
Well, I'll never try flan ever again. Fuck this.
It's like check this out. It's like just like soft sad dick inside of like soft sad Mexican yogurt.
Man.
Just randomly an apples in it.
So anytime you see flan on the shelf, people leave it there because you
Yeah.
don't know exactly who's mixing it with their fuck stick.
One day I put tahini in it and you don't see me for like a week. I'm like in the fucking hospital.
Oh, how could they catch you?
very easily.
Yeah, the cops are stopping people. Did you guys see a guy running through with his dick out?
meanwhile, you're holding it. No.
They said, "What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a hot dog. Can't you tell? It's just like a bun."
Well, street dog, sir.
Well, carry on, sir.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a holy carry-on. There's only 4 of them left in the world, kid, sir.
Yeah, it's the fucking it's the Isotopes hot dog from The Simpsons, sir. See?
Yeah, look at all the onions and shit.
And he's looking right all over your dick.
It's a walnut.
Taste it.
One.
He's like, "Is that good?" I'm like, "It's fucking the best, I hear."
Yeah, take a little nibble.
Try it out.
And that's how he had that excellent. Never mind.
And that day he got COVID. No, you know what's upsetting, man? I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now, man.
What is it, man?
You know, why aren't people getting outraged by Sonic the Hedgehog's voice? It does not sound like what an actual hedgehog is. An actual hedgehog sounds like, "Yo, kids, we get to go get some rings, man." What's all about, man? That is exactly what a hedgehog sounds like. Not like, "Yo, Tails, we gotta go get the rings, man." No. Sonic is more chill than that. He doesn't sound like a teenager. He sounds like a grown man, you know. And he's from the street. We gotta like adapt Sonic to common culture. It's the only way it's gonna work, you know.
Are you saying Sonic the Hedgehog is a sneakerhead?
He is. He probably, you know what? He probably was the guy that like literally is the first in line to get NBA Live 04 with his like cool ass sneakers.
Wow.
If you think about Sonic Adventure 2, and yeah, he is a sneakerhead.
Yeah, so he gets, you know, he's rocking out his Air Force 8s, and you know, he gets NBA Live 04, and he's like, "Yo, man, this is bomb, man. What Robotnik's I get, man?" And he throws down his coffee, then he has to go throw down with Robotnik. That's what the game should be like, you know. Waiting for my protein all day, yo. He's eating that, and then Amy's going out. He goes, "Oh man, I don't have time for you bitches. Be great. Leaves her alone. Goes stop the botnik. Goes back and plays NBA Live."
Wow, well, good storytelling like that. I can't believe that the comic is not selling. Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
what a brave and beautiful racial swap of a character you did there, Al. It just sounds like
even
you just
though
found a black man to go, yo, what up, my Damie?
I mean, as he did all that, I mean, look at like what the fuck do we need Shadow the Hedgehog for? We got that motherfucker. Go on.
Shadow the Hedgehog should have been a British hedgehog. And
to be fair, though, he did say that Sonic was from the hood.
That's true. Every gold circle goes back to reparations, according to Al's fucking. That's why he collects them all. If he can collect all the emeralds, he'll cash them in, and then he'll get the money back. So if we're gonna go with this hood, yo, my name's Sonic the Hedgehog. We should go all in, Al. We should
see. That's the cut you didn't see.
Yeah,
he goes crazy with the ring.
That's the one that gets
bling bling. You know, he goes crazy for his bling bling.
His bling bling.
When did Sonic become Parappa the Rapper?
Yeah. What
the fuck is
hot ass ice? You know,
is this Sonic the Hedgehog or Lil Wayne you're talking about?
No, it is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Maybe the
by Lil Wayne.
Yeah,
well, they are the same height.
Yeah,
and they do have giant red shoes.
Yeah,
my God.
Yes, this is it.
Did we just uncover the biggest conspiracy in video game history?
You know, it'd be sick. What if Birdman played Robotnik? That'd be fucking rad.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know, Dr. Robotnik always does feel disrespected.
And his ultimate move is to kiss Lil Wayne on the lips, like that one picture that came out in that fucking magazine.
Yeah.
That's how you lose all your rings. Because
well, you know,
put some respect on it.
You know,
run, Little Wayne, run.
Game, you know, in Sonic,
Little Wayne the Hedgehog.
Sonic does get grabbed by Robotnik, you know, in this machine quite a few times. So maybe there was something there, you know.
It'd be cool because then Nicki Minaj could just be like that weird robot chicken.
Well,
yeah, Nicki Minaj would probably just spend half the game just screaming that she didn't fuck a certain person. That's normally how it goes.
Shit, Al.
Whoa,
no,
damn,
seriously,
dude,
did you hear that fucking song? All she does say, all she says, she does not like have whatever with Drake and whoever. That's seriously the entire song for like 3 minutes. I'm not even making this up. And then randomly Chris Brown's a vampire in it.
Okay, man. Damn. All right. Shit. Okay.
Good song.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, it looks like you got your ear to the streets.
See.
You don't even know.
That man knows.
He's in the heart of the hood.
Yeah.
You don't even know, man.
This is Al coming to you straight up from the streets, yo.
From the streets, bitch.
Would you like to have a word? I'd probably be dead.
He's got his heart in the hood.
Shoot.
Oh,
exactly.
Man.
You know, I'm coming out there, fly as heck, you know, wearing my suit. Excuse me, sir. Can I have a word with you? 10 minutes later, it's like, well, we need a new crew member now. Elm's dead.
Here comes Al with his African American studies.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Al in the bar, man of the streets.
Before we start, I have one more question. What other video game character do you think just has like a straight up hood accent that you want to throw on there real quick? Is there anything else?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
He's totally asking you, man.
I you would think like I don't know, maybe Bubsy.
Oh boy.
Jay
Papers out on a daily basis. You know?
No. Leave me out of it, Marco. Let him go. Let him go. Jesus Christ.
I got
anyway.
He's got a good point.
You ready to start this damn show, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, allow me to introduce you to the state-of-the-art crew. You may know him as the BBC. That's Big Bad Caster, you dirty dog, Al. Or as your girlfriend refers to him, Sexual Thunder. He's a man of many hats, except the Jimmy ones. You know him as the host of Power Plays, J360 Jams, and the creator of the Weenie Houdini. But around here, we just call him Mr. J and Brady. But not too fast, because to his virtual right is the elusive, multifaceted, caring, and hung like a son of a gun, xxMOOSIFERxx. And last but not least, to the other right is me, who wouldn't look out of line buying lube, duct tape, chicken wire, and flowers. Why flowers, you're probably asking now? Because mama didn't raise no dog, you piece of shit. It's me, Mr. Your Mom's Favorite, digital day laborer, but washed all the same, awful by birthright, Marco. And also joining us is the strong, white, silent type, Al. Al, you want to introduce yourself?
The fact that you did not refer to a J as Thunder Thighs is very offensive to me, but hello.
Thunder Thighs.
Thunder Thighs.
Well, with that, fellas, how are you all doing? Jay, let me speak.
Doing fine, man. But what the fuck was all that Thunder Thighs shit, Al?
What was that? Has Jay called you that before?
No.
Oh, well, then what the fuck? Why would you say that?
I don't know. You were saying a bunch of random stuff. I thought I should say something too.
I was calling Jay and Brady because that's what he's called. So
that's pretty much who I am. What the
only
fuck,
in the
Al?
Walmart greeting sections, good sir. Other than that, when he no, I'm not gonna go there. Anyways,
they call you Thunder Thighs at the Walmart greeting section?
Who?
Obviously me, because the way I walk down the aisles, Thunder Thighs,
All right, hold on a second. Jay, say hello so the people at home can recognize your voice real quick.
How the hell couldn't they recognize the voice? I'm on like 7 different fucking shows. Oh, hi, everybody. I am Jay and Brady from J360 Radio and J360 Productions in general. And I invited Alan here, and God knows why, because I never heard about this Thunder Thigh shit. That is insane.
That is news to all of us. Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to be here tonight on State of the Art, hanging with my bros. And I'm just here I'm shocked and appalled and excited. Yeah.
Nice. Eric, you want to say hello to the people at home listening?
I just want to go back and talk about the many hats that Jay wears, except the Jimmys.
The Jimmy ones?
Well, don't worry
he's
about
also,
that.
Don't forget,
that's my illegitimate children.
Yeah, he's also the inventor of the Weenie Houdini, which is a move that he said he pulls when, like, surprise, surprise, there might not be a condom on. You know what I'm saying?
I am not denying anything.
And Al, you want to introduce yourself to the people at home? Do you do anything special? Do you do anything at all? Anything? Anything you're working on?
I saw 2 packs of gum for sale for $3 once, man. It was like the most exciting moment of my life. So,
you said you're also the founder of Rap Tape. What is that? You want to explain?
It's an innovative concept. Just send me $10 and I'll definitely show you a rap tape. Unlike the world's ever seen. It's
Now, tell the people at home what the rap tape might include. What is this?
Well, it has it has the Thunder, the album, the Thunder, the Truth Part 8. It's popping, it's awesome, but it's already prepackaged. Like you just order it, it's right there. So it's like it's essentially an envelope shipping with the album, the rap tape. It's done.
Way to close, son.
Yeah, what's scary?
It's not a mixtape. It's not an album. It's a rap tape.
Exactly. It's popping.
And he's also a big part of J360 Productions as well. Though I'm still wondering.
Yeah, after
today's shit.
After today's foray, he might not be.
Probably not.
Well, there's plenty of questions.
It's questionable material. Okay. Oh, you guys have podcasted before, right? So Al, you're not new to podcasting, correct?
No.
Obviously. Okay. You said you are new to OnlyFans, though. Do you want to give the people at home that link, or?
No, remember we talked about it. It's a private link only for myself.
Oh, okay. Weird. But
Yeah,
I mean, everyone's
he's
got
his own big fan.
You pay yourself. That's your savings account.
Yes. I have $14 saved up on my OnlyFans account for myself. It's
Like, oh, that's a super hot pick of me. All right.
All right.
A little $14 in the savings.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Watch out.
Watch out for those thighs. Do you have to move the thighs out of the way for everyone to see what else is packing?
It's a daily struggle, when you think about it, but it's best not to think about it. Those bring the thunder, though.
You ain't bringing no thunder, you motherfucker.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Jay, you don't know.
You're right, I don't. That's why I'm like, what the fuck? This is new to me.
Oh, man.
Hey, man, he left all his thunder on the rap tape.
I guess
That's
he must
true.
have.
That's true.
That's true.
He must have blowed it all out over there,
Yeah, it's all gone now.
yeah.
All right.
It's all gone. I'm spent. Yeah, he's fucking
Snuffed out, eh?
Oh, I got no more in me.
I moved all my savings and thunder on that rap tape, so buy it today.
Blew his whole wad.
Yeah, all $14.
All 14.
Sheesh. Well, you guys have introduced yourselves, and there's some talking points, some hot topics of the week that I feel like we can go over. So first off, guys, are you pretty well versed in political news or pay attention, correct? Before we get into this next one?
Usually, yeah.
All
I have
right.
2 questions. What are politics? What is the news?
Yeah.
Can you eat either one of them?
You cannot. All
All right, I'm gonna have to sit this one out.
Yeah. There was a shirt a long time ago that said "Eat the Rich," but people weren't really for it. You know what I mean? It's just a little fad.
It was ahead of its time.
Yeah. Al, you got any questions before we start this next topic?
No, I'll wing it. It's good.
Okay. All right, here we go. With the world in his hand, a complete victory in Afghanistan, and a possible 45.8% approval rating, Biden made diplomatic strides this week by standing at the border and proclaiming, "The brown ones can stay, but the black ones gotta go." What do we make of this wackadoo border dilly? Have you guys have you guys seen the news on how the Haitians can't stay, but the other fellas can freely pass through?
That's because they didn't vote for him.
Yeah. What do you guys think about it?
I'm gonna let Jay fill this one first.
Well, I'd like to say, way to go, Dementia Joe. You really, really are festering about with this one. So, does he have like a little tick mark on like the shades or something like that, so he can tell the difference? Is that what he's all about?
I was more tripped out because some of the photos that I saw like literally had fools on horses like lassoing Haitians out of the river. And a part of me thought, so are we gonna it's only not racist if you do it to everyone down there. It seems very racist if you're only doing it to that one color and those are the only people you're forcing to leave. Right? Like, I don't know. I just saw it. I thought, where do we go from here? Is it only up from here?
No, man, it's down. Cesspool.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you guys, because Haiti's been through some shit. Haiti's like had earthquakes and buildings have crumbled and they've had like politicians assassinated, about on par with Mexico, I would say, in terms of like currently being hard places to live. I just thought it was very, very odd. I thought it was very peculiar that one color had to get the fuck out, but the other color was like, we won't. Don't bother those people. I thought, that seems unfair.
I mean, it's pretty much, you cannot deny of the racial preference there, can you? It's like, I see some favoritism here. Nah, I don't want y'all. I want that down. That make me feel all brand new. I want
that. Al, before we started, you said you wanted all the borders shut. airtight. What did you mean by that?
What?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I just thought like, what a very profound moment we're living in, and it seems like it's not getting covered. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. But if it's easier to stay away from it, Al specifically. I mean, Al, what do you think? If you were president, if you were the white guy in charge, I mean, don't they all gotta go?
Wait a minute, he's not in charge?
Oh, good. Oh, hey, good question. Al, are you in charge? Do we not know? Is that why you're here? Are you keeping tabs on us?
Yeah,
because before we started, you did clarify. I mean, according to your rap tape, you do have your ear to the streets and your heart in the hood, as Eric once said.
it's very true. But no, I am spying on you. Yes, but for a good cause, not for this cause.
For our safety, as they say. Yeah.
I will have to, eventually message people that you're onto us. So, but no, my entire thing is, what the hell is he talking about? Like, I don't even understand. Like, this is Biden, like, does he have any idea what he's doing?
No.
That's a good question. I thought about that too. The far right would make those like funny ass claims of like, oh, he's got cognitive problems and like he's fucking almost dead, right? But then you see things like this that like have kind of just played out over the last like couple of weeks, and then you think to yourself like, maybe that was true. Maybe like, I don't know, something is very off, because he did fall asleep like on international broadcasts while like the Israeli prime minister was talking to him or some shit like that, right? Like, there's a lot of
he was boring.
He's
like, what else would you do?
He's like, yeah, Jew this, Jew that. I'm gonna take a nap. And he
damn right.
Knocks out.
I mean, when you're 80 years old, you have to keep that battery alive.
Do you know what I'm
saying? The best way to keep that battery alive was for him to sleep.
Are you sure you like Morty Seinfeld the situation? Remember, like, because the meeting started like too late or something, and Morty Seinfeld just walked out of his job because he wanted to go take a nap or something?
That's it.
That's true. Because he has moments, like there are moments when he seems like very awake.
But that wasn't one of them.
No, that wasn't. That was
nap time. He was very crabby about it.
Yeah. He's like a bird. They got to put like a blanket over his head so he can take a nap.
Do you think he woke up the next morning and heard what he said and was like, I said what?
And still denied it.
Do you think
he was like, he probably doesn't.
It's too late to go back now.
Yep.
Yeah, he probably doesn't rewatch. Probably doesn't rewatch what he does. Probably the Democrats hide it, and they're like, "No, we can't let him embarrass himself."
Yeah.
I mean, because
we have to go forward with that racism.
Yeah, because I mean, you like, I get what I was saying too. Like, you can't, if you acknowledge it, then you have to like seem more severe by getting everybody out, right? Like,
yeah.
So then it's like, how the fuck do you go back without obviously not outing yourself?
Yeah, they've had the mentality of, okay, don't discuss it, it'll go away.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. I mean, like they said that there was at one point they said recently there was 15,000 Haitians under a bridge. It probably looks like a scene from fucking District 9, like, because they showed like this little tent city they built over a couple of days, and they went from 800 people a week and a half ago to fucking 15,000.
God damn.
Yeah.
I thought that was the lineup for Man 25. I must have read the news wrong.
Oh my God. Oh my. Ooh.
There you go.
It sounded like Jay just bit into some racist chicken. Did you hear that?
No, I was in line for Man 25. What the fuck?
No, he bit into some unseasoned fried chicken.
He got that fucking rap tape chicken you wanted to sell through churches.
No, like, like there's a giant line and stuff, dude. It's like the lineup for like a video. It's like Madden.
You thought Haitians were storming the U.S. because they wanted to fucking buy Madden?
Don't we all?
What?
No. What?
Jesus Christ, I made a big mistake.
Good Lord, man. More and more this racist stuff is coming out.
I can feel it in my bones.
Agenda. What the heck?
Well, hey, Al, the thing is, you'll always be my brother. We just won't be seen in public. That's all.
All right,
yeah.
All right? You racist.
But no. In reality, I'll break kayfabe. But no, like yeah, like I don't know, man. Like so there's like a lot of people like this like storming. Is it the borders or like what's going on with that? I didn't actually read into this.
Yeah, it's at the Texas-Mexico border.
The
Like a
same
river
problem
crossing.
area we always have.
Yeah.
Or what they claim to be a problem area.
Yeah. So
But I don't know. Like it just feels like to me, like with this whole thing that's going on with Biden, like I just feel like he claims it just reminds me so much of the president from like not this last one, but from two saying, "Oh, we're going to address these issues," but they address them, but they're so half-assed that it doesn't even like, why are you even doing this? You're just making it worse.
right. Yeah. It's like the most diplomatic answer that means absolutely jack shit.
Yeah, like he's trying. Okay, this is the way I say it. Like they're like, yeah, we're doing the things that we said, but we had no plan how to do them. So it's like, yeah, it's just ridiculous, and it's like. I actually gave, I remember years ago, I actually gave one of those presidents the best. I was like, at least they're actually trying to do something, because I look at, you know, that one president from like, I don't know, 10 years ago, George Bush or whatever, like as that last 4 years where he didn't do jack shit as the economy was like completely crumbling was so offensive that I actually gave like Obama like a lot of props. Like at least he's trying to do something. But like in Biden's case, he's trying to do something, but he has no idea what the hell he's doing. He's making everything worse.
Yeah, I think Biden is doing his best Mr. Magoo impression at this point as president. Like, if you watch him walk around at these events too, he just looks like lost. Like, I don't know if it's cognitive issues or I don't know if it's just like the weight of actually being president on him at his age or at his physical ability is just crazy. Because like I was talking with somebody and I said the scary thing is it's like when Donald Trump pops up in the news and like he's at these speaking engagements or whatever, you realize they're almost like the exact same age. Like they're off by age by like a year or two, right? And I think Donald Trump might actually be older than Joe Biden. And it's like alarming when you see somebody who can speak clearly and then somebody who just like when Biden tried to recite the Constitution, he goes, "We hold these rights to be self-evident. You know the rest." And he just like, fucking trailed off. Talk about corn pop and his kids pulling out his leg hairs and shit. I mean, those should have been like the early signs, but
here's the freaking problem. 10 years ago, Joe Biden was just as big of an idiot as he is now. He really was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because his policies haven't changed. That's absolutely true. Like his outlook on shit hasn't changed. I mean, do you think he makes it through 4 years of being president at this rate? Like,
no, it would be a miracle.
I'd say yes, Ashley. I mean, if we could give George Bush 8 years, I think he's going to make it 4.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, let's see. At his current rate, no. But you know,
I mean, here's
happen.
the thing. On his side, George Bush did have like a Dick Cheney, right? Where someone was like, although he was like obviously Satan incarnate. Like,
oh yeah,
Dick Cheney was at least like, although smart, an evil motherfucker, but then again, very, very smart.
Yeah,
like, you know, and conniving, and I like, but that was his vice president. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of shit wrong. I mean, Kamala Harris might as well be fucking Carmen Sandiego. You can't find her ass anywhere at this point.
Well, didn't she like get called out by one of the other world leaders for like making an appearance somewhere?
Yeah. Yeah. Every time she's gone somewhere, like to a foreign country, they just pretty much like laugh her out of the country.
You know what's funny? I think the most hilarious thing is remember when everyone had a field day when who was that guy who was running? John McClane, right? He was like, you know, it was like Sarah Palin was running, and these people made a joke of her because she had really no experience, had no idea what she's doing. How the heck did Kamala Harris get a pass? She has no idea what she's doing, and she didn't really have a lot of experience.
The woman vote, Al.
Yeah,
but and Sarah Palin, last I heard, was kind of a woman, so
kind of a woman. Holy shit.
Yeah. It was big, but not that big.
See, this is the left side version of that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Sarah Palin's an idiot, but I'm just saying Kamala Harris is much better.
But I get what you're saying, where she was like actually like a fucking governor. Like Sarah Palin actually knows what like government paperwork at least looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she saw it like once or twice.
Yeah.
Like the thing with Kamala was
once or twice.
She ran on that whole She ran on that whole left rhetoric, like, oh, there has to be women in power. It doesn't matter. Women in power. That whole stuff festered over like after Palin, which was interesting because they try to run with that on the other side.
And it's crazy because everyone hated Hillary Clinton so much that they voted for somebody. They voted for Donald Trump, who they hated way fucking more, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, anything was better than Hillary Clinton. Like anything. Like there was
even Joe Biden.
I can't believe.
Ooh. I'm just kidding.
I have no. I don't even know anymore. I think it's a toss up.
Yeah, you don't know how to compare that.
So Al, if I could ask you, why did you think Hillary? I have my opinions about Hillary Clinton too, but like, why did you think Hillary Clinton was definitely not it?
Well, everything that she had against her, and the aspect of there's everything against her. She had so much going against her. She's an unlikable person to even like. I just didn't understand it. Like, it just made no sense. Like, plus, people look at like Bill Clinton in retrospect saying, oh, he was a really good president. He honestly really was when you think about it.
I mean, he was our first black president, as history calls him.
Yeah, true. But like, yeah, but this is the kind
that motherfucker could play a saxophone. You could put that on your rap tape.
He definitely had his ear to the streets.
Yeah, his heart was in the hood.
We've been talking on our Nokia phones as of late. We might, we had a connection one time. We had a 2G connection, so it could happen. Nice. But no, like in reality though, like Bill Clinton wasn't really that great of a president either. And there was a lot of crap that happened with the Bill Clinton thing. And it's like, I think people are nostalgic for the Clinton reign because the George Bush reign was that bad.
You know what's crazy? So you bring up nostalgia, and I'll ask all you guys this, and I agree. Do you think there is definitely like political nostalgia, right? Because
absolutely.
And the funny thing is like we do it with presidents that at the moment, like nobody fucking liked. Like nobody liked Ronald Reagan. Like the idea of Reaganomics is like a urban myth that is turned true with like all the crack dispensed amongst like inner cities and shit like that, right? To break them apart.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of Reaganomics. And like the Iran-Contra situation, all sorts of just fucked up shit. But then everyone goes like, if only we could have another Ronald Reagan. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I think you're right, because Bill Clinton's presidency is how we fucking set up ourselves for the housing market crash the first time.
Yep.
I mean, we'll look back at I think Joe Biden might break the political nostalgia streak. Like, God, I really missed that time when they had all those Haitians under that bridge. That was real.
The craziest part is there's already Donald Trump nostalgia already. And it's like, that's how bad of a job he's doing.
Yeah, I know. And that's a crazy thing to think about. Yeah, we're all gonna.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, there was some crazy people who still think that Trump is still their president. It's like, no, he's not. Sadly,
Yeah, that's a
sadly.
I would take him over what we have now. Sadly, and that's the truth. I mean, at least he had some semblance of knowing what he was doing, whether we agreed or disagreed.
Yeah.
This has just been a political comedy show at this point.
Well, I mean, one of our been there too.
Yeah. I mean, one of the great things that Trump did say recently was like, if you're woke, you're a loser. Which is like, I feel like this is fucked up to say, but I feel like that's the kind of president that we especially need right now. Is that weird?
No, he's 100% in the right.
I mean, at least like I can give him a fair toss on that one. Yeah, that's actually true. Because you've seen everything so far. Like, take a look at all of our institutions that are ran by woke people.
Dude, they're fucking. I mean, we talked about before getting into it. I mean, Jay, you can probably enlighten the audience, but like, there's another whole fucking Marvel shenanigans because somebody felt targeted or whatever.
Oh, what did the bitch from She-Hulk do this time?
Jesus, whoa.
God damn.
Yeah,
no, for real. There's a whole big thing about that, and I'm not going to dig deep on it on this show, but yeah, it's either somebody on that show or it's somebody working on the new Captain Marvel shit. Like, it's. I mean, you got to take your pick.
Do you think it kind of, in a weird way, to kind of go down to like because honestly, this is like the temperature in the country is exactly that. Like, that's the temperature that the Biden campaign ran on, right? Like that.
Oh yeah.
It was like that daring you to be racist ideology where it was like, if you dare to say that every life mattered, you must have been racist. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. And that was a whole point of contention for 2020, right? And that's like a microcosm of what they ran on towards the campaign, like towards election night.
Right.
So I feel like, do you think that woke sentimentality is also over virtue signaling for like deeply broken ideology inside? Because I would like, that's my thing. Looking at that border issue in all seriousness is just like, the most fucked up thing is like, this is why people on the right were even saying like, dude, you can't just literally let everybody in. Like, you can't do that. It's not. And then some people on the right were made to seem racist by saying that, but this is exactly why you cannot. Because now there's fucking 15,000, or there was, now it's back down to around 10,000 because they've been flying people out. You know, but they've had to like deploy military backup just in case. Like, they're fucking lassoing people out of the river. Like, the shit looks like something out of Blazing Saddles.
It might as well be.
Yeah. Like, so, but that's where woke got us. Like, we were so woke and so humane and so open-hearted that like, you're fucking sending them all right back.
But you know, you got to realize there's like always an underlying agenda behind all this stuff. Like, same reason like I always say, like, there are people that thrived in the time of Trump, whereas they thrived in the time of Bush and all that kind of stuff. That's why they want that stuff back. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always ask this: how much money did you make then? You know, things like that. That's what I always ask.
For sure, yeah.
Because usually somebody's bracket is up higher depending on who's in office that shares the same ideas and the same motivations. And then not only that, this woke shit, it never had a big plan to it. You think about it, let them all in the borders and stuff like that. Okay, then what's next? What's going to happen? Are they going to improve the economy, or are they going to take it down lower? Is there going to be jobs around for everything? That's what it is. How's the survival game going to be at that point? What's the long-term plan?
They think jobs for everyone is everybody working at fucking Amazon.
Yeah, like that's really going to help.
You know, and then it's a company like Amazon that plays the woke game, and then they have to put out a commercial where they go like, there's this like Mexican lady who was like, you know, before I couldn't even find a job, and I heard a rumor that I couldn't go take a shit on my lunch break or whatever. And then she's like, but that's not even true. You can totally go to the bathroom. Like, that's a commercial. That's a fucking commercial from Amazon. Like, that's the state of how we coddled people so fucking hard for like a couple of years, out of like almost rebelling against like conservative economists that were in power for 4 years, right?
Right.
Like, so it's kind of like that kid has rich parents, and that kid always ends up being like going into fucking college for liberal arts or some shit like that, right? Or liberal whatever.
Because they're already taken care of in another direction.
Right. But their parents are fucking like rich and ultra conservative.
Yeah.
You know,
but you know, more like, oh, I'm gonna stand up against you, Dad. You don't know shit. Things like that.
My dad's a fucking dick. He only gave me $3,000 this month. What a
But
bitch.
As soon as they're in trouble,
though, what a freaking a-hole. Only $3,000.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Hey, as soon as they're in trouble, though, guess who bails them out? So it's like that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like the biggest, to what even Jay's saying, like the biggest reveal of what woke gets you on the bottom line of it is like exactly what happened with like the BLM founders, like them being complete fraudsters. And I mean, me and Jay talked about that even before like the election was kind of finalized. You know, like I mean, Jay, it was kind of crazy because me and Jay kind of guessed that. Like, what do you think's going to happen? Like, no one's getting that fucking money, dude. Like, there's no receipt.
Not at all. I mean, you willfully gave that money away. It's not like you loaned them the money. And if you did, you would have gave them interest and shit like that. Give them something to really complain about. But no, you gave them money. You can't. The only person you can get mad at is yourself right now. That's what I say to woke people all the time. Like, you fucked this up on your own. So go punch a mirror or some shit. I mean, like at the end of the damn day, that's pretty much where you need to be at.
Go punch a mirror.
Do what Jim Carrey and Liar Liar did because you deserved it. You know, that's where
I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?
Exactly.
Man, oh man. Well, on lighter news, they searched high and low, and as the world thought, where did that girl go? But after an exhaustive week, they found Gabby Petito. Another tragic case of internet fame turned murder mystery. What does it say about the dangers of online notoriety and the real lives behind all the pretty pictures? Also, though, real quick, why couldn't it have been one of the Paul brothers?
I agree with the whole Paul brothers thing, but I also realize this is another case of missing white woman syndrome. had she had been black or whatever, it probably would have been the norm, right? I mean, like, you know, there's not like a whole lot of all this other stuff where people end up missing and sex trafficking and all that other crazy shit, right? Because we're not going to go find them. But this woman right here, I didn't even know who the hell that was. But but now I know her posthumously because everybody talked about it. And I'm like, must be a white girl. And I know I sound racist saying that, but it's true. They'll cover that shit in a minute.
I mean, you're not lying about minority kids and even adults that get caught up in trafficking and murder cases, and they just fucking straight up go missing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I brought up that thing where like there was that one Hispanic boy who was 13 years old. They got shot by cops.
Yeah,
remember that? And there was no march.
No resolution at all, right?
No fucking rally for that kid. Like, so what the fuck? What's up with that? Like, where did it all go? But I think that I kind of agree. I think one of the biggest red flags too, when seeing this, is like, are we shocked when we find out that these real people are like just kind of badly damaged? Like they were living like, what is that new shit? Van life, which is technically just called being homeless.
With wheels.
Yeah.
With wheels.
Oh man. Yeah. And so I guess they were like traveling across country. They were going to document it. So they had this fucking YouTube channel. They're being cutesy wootsy. And then next thing you know, she goes missing. Then dude is there to answer all sorts of questions. And then one day he's fucking poof, be gone. He's out. And now I think they're still looking for him as of right now. I could be wrong.
Well, they could be still looking for him, but I haven't heard any new developments yet.
Yeah, true. I mean, everything always takes me back to Instagram. Because like I look at like, you know, there's like darker realities to these things that you see like online that have like these big reaches and shit like that.
Yep.
And every time you see somebody like traveling, like take some attractive Instagrammer, right, guy or girl, whatever, and they're like one day they're in fucking Bali eating fucking, I don't know, fried duck. I don't know what the fuck they eat anywhere. And church's chicken, we'll say. And
Jesus, and then, man.
And then one day they're in fucking like, like pulling a Rihanna and all up in Dubai out of nowhere in the world's tallest building or whatever. Like the dark, obvious. Well, not so dark, but more obvious reality to that is that Instagrammer is definitely like a sex worker, because like this person has no job. They just stay in shape and they travel. Right. But why? And for what? Okay. So like, there's like an escort lifestyle that I think people think are glamorous. And then they realize that like, wouldn't living in a van with somebody with nowhere to go drive you fucking straight up OJ crazy?
Depending on the circumstance and the way living can be.
Yeah.
I would like to think he could go crazy and stuff like that. But, I like to think, how old was this girl anyway? I should ask. Was she an adult?
She was in her 20s.
Well, then, here's the thing. Like, she made that choice. You know what I mean? She chose to be with that guy and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's the sad part of it. And it's like, but because it happened to her, now everybody's like, oh, you got to be careful who you talk to on the internet. Oh, now you got to be careful of all this other stuff that goes on. Now you got to be, I'm like, come on, people. It's like this. The ones that know you usually are the ones that'll fuck with you. Chances are I could probably get killed by one of my cousins before I get killed by like, any stranger. Not saying that it doesn't happen, but the point is that that proximity thing, it's like this. Yeah. This is somebody she trusted,
Yeah. Are we surprised that it's this guy?
No. And it's like the fact that people are now like, okay, so like I said, I didn't even know this person. And I'm saying it's pretty fucked up why it happened, but it's like, had it been like somebody of a different skin tone, had it been somebody that maybe didn't have all that kind of following and stuff like that, but like, in journalism, it's like that. If it bleeds, it reads. They'll happily talk about this stuff, but they won't talk about the resolution. Chances are you'll probably hear about the guy getting caught, but you probably won't hear about the sentencing and stuff until much later, depending on how many eyes are looking at it.
Yeah, it's crazy because we found out about fucking Pee Wee Herman getting caught jacking off like in the news the day after, and they had pictures of him and shit. And this is like in the 90s before the internet, like pre-internet. And you're right. So if it's salacious enough, they will fucking make sure it's something intense. And then if it's not salacious enough, this will just disappear. Like lo and behold, let's say maybe they got into a fight. She decided, I'm going to go for a walk, and she just ends up disappearing one day. This is a pretty blonde girl on the side of a road somewhere randomly throughout the country.
And where did it take place at, right? Like what area of the country? Middle America?
Somewhere. They were like going to all these fucking like nature hotspots. So like the Grand Teton, they were fucking, doing like the touristy woodsy shit.
Like that Appalachian Trail kind of stuff.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, well, you see, that's another thing. See, those areas are pretty dangerous too. Like there's one area there that's marked off for tourists, but then there's that other area where you actually do get the camping experience, and along the way, a lot of the dangers with it. You never know who the hell's out there living and moving around and stuff like that. Once again, at your own risk. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
how many freaking stories have we heard about like how many murder stories we heard that these people are going on vacation and then something happens.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
I don't even understand how this is a big thing. It's just been done to death so many times.
Big time YouTuber.
Was she really a big time? I never even really heard of her.
I mean, exactly. Yeah, like you're like me. You didn't hear about her until she died, right? So it's like,
no, I barely heard about her now.
Well,
I mean, I didn't even speaking of that, I didn't know who James Charles was until like someone had to tell me. I just thought it was like some guy in makeup that I was jerking off to.
Well.
Well, there's so many YouTubers.
They're like, is that James Charles? I'm like, that's what? I just thought I was jerking it.
Okay, here's the other thing. Are these like legitimate subscribers who watch this stuff, or are these like just on bot accounts that made it to 1 million? Because I'm starting to like really find like, it's this big YouTuber, but was it actually 1 million people watching this, or was it only like 100 people watching?
Oh, you think it's like botting?
Yeah, because there's no way. I've never heard of this person, but yet you can hear of like hundreds of other people, but you never hear of people like that ever.
I mean,
I see what you're saying, because if you look her up, you just see all like the news channels covering it. You don't see like her YouTube page that would pop up, right?
Yeah, like I've never. What was her name?
Gabby
Petito.
Yeah, her.
Gabby what?
Petito.
Oh, Petito. All right, let's see.
Well, they were talking all about her on Instagram, like, considering that we're all independent media professionals and stuff, so we got that connection, but like everybody's talking about her now, like posthumously. And I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, you never hear about like an OnlyFans murder mystery, right?
That's because it's a crime scene, but go on.
Okay, I'm trying to see if she actually had a YouTube channel. Like, hold on. Does her YouTube channel even exist anymore? No, it doesn't, apparently.
I mean, was she about lifestyle, or was she just about camping?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, was she because some people will make it their mission to only be on Instagram, right? Like that's their whole thing, because it's like the easiest thing to post on, I guess. So, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I just like it's covered to death. And it's not.
Well, they need the views. News companies need the views, because I think the news right now is a little bit like, I think a lot of people hate the news right now after the ridiculous amount of shit they did over the COVID stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and they oversold it so much, and then they did the whole vaccine thing, and then it, as it turns out, like, oh yeah, it works, but now there's this new one, and like it's like people are like, we're tired of hearing about it, so they need to find something new to latch onto.
Yeah, the Delta variant's just like the Madden 22 of COVID.
Well, there's supposedly another variant now. It's called Moo or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah,
and
they got it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't mean to be a dick about it, but like, if they just pretty much said, okay, like, and like, if you just flat out said, this was like a flu, just a normal flu or swine flu or whatever, and the media didn't overcover it, and we didn't have the social network stuff that we have now, would it have been as a big a deal as it was now? Probably not.
No,
true.
Well, here's the thing too,
because swine flu is kind of a big thing, but it never like went this insane, like with how people freaked out about it.
There was swine flu, and then there was avian flu, swine flu, H1N1, and then there was that super flu that was floating around for a while.
Well, H1N1 was swine flu.
Well, yeah. Thank you. But you know what I mean? Like all these diseases that came up, and now, we never did stomp out the flu. So come on, let's just be for real about this. Whatever happened to just be clean and be like, you know what I mean?
Impossible. We have to, if we're feeling coughing or whatever, or just don't feel right, we have to go out, to these like concerts and malls where hundreds and hundreds of people are,
Are you both saying that? Are you both saying there might be some ulterior motives to this whole COVID thing?
Could be. Could be. Because I mean, you think about it, like first they said we were okay, and then we could go around and not be masked. Now they're backpedaling awfully. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because they like the mask mandate wasn't even like a soft release of the rule. It was just straight up like one day they were like announcing it like, guess what, on Monday you can take your mask off. Like, well, what happens between Friday and Monday that's so fucking great? Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, the mask ghost, he's going to go on a coffee break for 2 months. That's why.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there. I see what Al's saying, and I agree. And I think like you have to cover these stories, because if you don't, then like what popped up in the meantime. There's this fucking Haiti border thing, right? There's like Afghanistan. There's fucking all those like Chinese letters from like the Wuhan labs to Dr. Fauci. Like there's a million things they could be covering, and it's way easier to go with like bleeding heart stories like this. I mean, because this is sad, yeah. I think the saddest thing is it gets turned into like a fucking investigation discovery show. Like
and then it'll be turned into a Lifetime movie and a documentary afterwards.
And then how many podcasts are going to get started about the fucking
it's true.
Can we, instead of over glorifying this case, can't we just continue to go after that one really creepy YouTuber, EDP? Can't we continue to like?
Yeah, he's still floating out there, guys.
Yeah, he's still
California
out there.
Doing anything about it?
It's like he disappeared into fat air.
Well, there you go, Al. That's the ending.
Okay, well, on a final, much more lighter note, Shang-Chi rickshawed the box office for the second week in a row, while Zack Snyder's Justice League holds the #1 spot for Blu-ray sales, leaving comic book fans saying, ooh, me Reiki very much. But it does leave one question. Why did they make King Shark retarded? Also, have you watched Shang-Chi? And if so, what did you think?
That's a lot of ins and outs on that one. But I cannot tell you why they made King Shark the way he was.
That's the only thing I can answer. King Shark was retarded because the guy who did the voice for him is actually, in fact, retarded.
Nice. Because I agree. I think they just...
Yeah, none of the shit that ended up in the movie was even in the script. Like, are you going to tell Sylvester Stallone that he's doing it wrong? Probably not.
They were like, say hand, and that's just how he says hand.
Yeah.
And, yeah. They're like, oh, he's fucking retarded.
So they really went all in on dumbing him down for the movie, huh? Because in the comic books, he's pretty damn villain. Yeah. He really lives up to his job.
Maybe in an alternate universe, he's the smartest guy in the room, though.
The thing about these comic movies, man. Anyway, anyway, I have no interest in seeing Shang-Chi. I just really don't care.
I mean, Jay, we have to stop the Asian hate, and we start at the box office.
Okay, well, you know what? Since I don't like most people anyway, what are you telling me this for?
Yeah, we stop the Asian hate by lining up the white man's pocket. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
I mean, I am using freedom of choice by saying hell no.
We breed inclusivity by paying Kevin Feige.
And Bob Chapek, I guess.
I mean, you guys are you guys not aware of the ancient Chinese Feige clan?
No, but I think Steven Seagal knows about it.
Yeah, so a long time ago, there was the Feige clan, and they found a bunch of Japanese ninjas, right? Like invading their land, and so they fought to the death. Kevin Feige happened to be the last surviving, and he finds his way back to Japan, and then he goes in this guy's house, and like before he even notices, because the guy's gone, is like he murders like their family, like his family, like his wife and kids and shit. And then like when he comes back out, the guy he was looking for is like outside. So they fight for a little bit, and then he ends up like stabbing that guy. But this guy has like a spear and shit, so he's just like trying to get him over there all the time and just like shoot a spear at him. It's not working. So that like Kevin Feige freezes him, and then stabs him in the heart and leaves him to die. And then Raiden shows up, and then finds a baby in a floorboard, and that's the beginning of the Kevin Feige clan.
That sounded like the plot of Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
No, it's worse than that. It's the plot of Mortal Kombat that just recently came out.
It's their fucking reboot. Yeah. Which is funny because that's the actual story to the video game, except the movie is absolute shit.
Yes. Oh, by the way, gentlemen, the game is actually part of the Monster Fest and it's crossplay. So any of you guys get it, let's go ahead and set that up.
Back for Blood, right?
That and Mortal Kombat. They're on, they're on the Monster Fest Power Play list.
Yes. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to play Mortal Kombat with you. Last time I played, like, I fucking nearly chucked my controller at the TV.
I still make a case for Evolve down there.
Hey, Evolve's on the list too. I mean,
thank God.
It's a 6-week event. Like, we got time for all this.
When does Back for Blood come out again?
October 12th.
So that
Mortal Kombat thing, Marco, that was very clever. Would have made a better movie, but nah, man, I just didn't care to see Shang-Chi. I mean, like, you could tell like the backstory behind Shang-Chi is bare bones anyway. And then you can tell they try to take from different areas to make this plot. Like, you took the villain from Iron Man that should have been in Iron Man 3 all the way through, and you used him in this movie because you didn't know how to use magic and technology in there. There's a way to go about this stuff.
I mean, maybe it's an ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah, that's nice, Calgon. But the point is this.
Calgon, take me away.
And not even that, but the main guy of Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, like, he's got a whole lot of crap going on with him right now. So I'm like, I just want to see how that goes.
Wait, he does?
Mm-hmm. You gotta check it out sometime.
What's going on with him?
Well, there was allegedly they found some old tweets and stuff from him where he was talking about like pedophilia is no different to being gay. And then there was all the stuff where he was to
be fair, if you're molesting boys, that is also gay.
Yeah, but that's not what he was talking about.
My bad.
But and then there was also the one where he was he was he was saying a whole bunch of stuff to like YouTubers and stuff like that. Like how like say like you have people you talk to, and then there's like, you're gonna be a complete snowflake about it because people don't want to go see your movie and stuff.
So the Chinese guy was calling people snowflakes?
The main guy himself, Shang-Chi himself, is out there he's just having a meltdown left and right. So like there's a whole like behind the movie shit going on that just makes you not want to watch the regular movie because you want to see how that goes.
I got to see these tweets.
Yeah, you got to see like the real life drama going on with him, dude. It's like,
I see, dude. I had no fucking. I thought like they made it seem like this movie was fucking super squeaky clean.
Well, the movie's probably okay, but it's like the drama here is just too good.
Eric, do you have any intention to see Shang-Chi?
I'm sure at some point I will, just not right now. I don't know. I think the timing of it is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a weird release. I mean, same thing with like Black Widow, right?
Yeah,
where it was
the same thing.
Exactly.
It's like, why right now in like the worst time of the year?
Like, I already know the ending. She dies.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, why even make that movie anymore?
We went through all that to see how she got her green vest for Infinity War.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I did.
I mean, if it wasn't in him, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, real quick. Shang-Chi takes place between Iron Man movies.
I would think,
because there's like the abominations in there and shit, right? And the 10 Rings is like Iron Man 3, correct?
Well, they were in Iron Man 1. It was like the name of that gang, and then they came back in Iron Man 3.
Oh, because those terrorists had ties to the 10 Rings, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, right.
And it just would have felt better as an Iron Man story.
Isn't it so weird that the 10 Rings are based in China, And currently, recently, the Chinese gave the Taliban a bunch of money, and in Iron Man 1, these 10 rings, technically, by this story's point, this Chinese illegal group was funding these Afghanistan terrorists in Iron Man.
Mm-hmm. Well, pretty much what the MCU is. It's all connected. Unless you're on Netflix, then you're fucked.
Just saying. What about you, Al? Are you going to watch Shang-Chi? Is Shang-Chi on your radar?
He is anti-Avengers to the T.
True.
He leaves the respect to the T. Why? So, Al, why are you so anti-Avengers? What is it?
Okay. First off, let's be honest here. Like, wait, I already explained this to you. I don't need to explain it.
You explain it to them, man, because it's not just our base.
Tell the people at home why you hate the Avengers.
Okay. First and foremost, I saw the Avengers movie in theaters, and I thought it was just okay. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't really as great as people made it out to be. And like
the first Avengers?
Yeah, the first one.
I kind of felt the same way.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was way overrated.
Yeah,
it was a Disney movie. If you watch it again, it's a fucking Disney movie.
It really is. It kind of looks like, okay, it's a little okay. It's not not your typical like, oh, it's super clean, but it was kind of a super clean superhero movie. It wasn't really that great. The comedy was kind of forced. It was just kind of it was a movie. Like I felt like the movie when I woke up in the morning, I completely forgot I watched it. Like pretty much. And it was like, and
it gave you a case of the Joe Bidens.
Yeah, and the friend who I watched the movie with was like, oh, it's the best movie of all time, wasn't it? I'm like, no, it honestly wasn't. It was actually kind of mediocre. Like the movie we saw like before, like last week, I think it was like Cabin in the Woods or something, was way better than that movie. And and then all of a sudden I know it's like there's like a new Marvel movie coming out every like month, and I'm like, dude, forget it. I'm not gonna invest this much time in this. I don't care.
Gotcha.
Like I just couldn't do it because like the movie that I started with was so unbelievably mediocre. It wasn't enough for me to invest. I don't know, like probably the equivalent of like an MMO to catch up on superhero movies. I can't do it.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I get you, because if for a while there was like a couple years streak where like if you missed one movie, you had no fucking idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't watch like Thor: The Dark World. I haven't seen the Thor movie since the first one. I'll be fucking very honest with
and you weren't missing much.
And they made it seem like you had to fucking watch those. And I tried to watch Thor: The Dark World. I fell asleep twice on it.
Yeah, that was a very boring movie.
And I don't know, like it's so. I mean, do you guys think that over time, do you think we'll look back on the Avengers movies as kind of wholly overrated?
You mean like right now, or like later on and stuff?
I think it's obviously starting to fade. It's like the impact that these movies are having is starting to fizzle.
I mean, because they've been around for 10 years. I mean, it's like they achieved all they needed to. Thanos finally came to Earth, and we had a pretty big battle out of it. So they really don't have to continue unless they want to. But even then, I just didn't care to see Shang-Chi. I'm going to go see the new Spider-Man, and I want to see Venom. But
yeah,
I just anything else that deals with like the lesser characters, you know what I mean? I just don't care.
Yeah, I'm curious about Venom. I'm curious about that movie for sure.
I'm nervous.
Venom makes me like anxious. Just seeing those trailers is like, I don't know,
in an excitable way, or in like I don't think it's gonna be good kind of way, like
in like rub my nipples but apprehensively kind of way.
Oh, okay. So second date then. Let's see.
That's why they call you No Jimmy
No Jimmy J. Yo, that's your fucking Michael Jackson producer name. No Jimmy J.
No Jimmy J. Oh, is Ghost Rider name? Oh yeah,
Ghost Rider, right?
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with
Ghost Rider. And no Jimmy J. Yeah,
when he's ghost writing, it's Ghost Rider, but when he's actually producing, like putting his name on it, it's No Jimmy J.
It's No Jimmy J because every track is raw.
Yeah.
He has like an alter ego complex, like Dr. Otacon and then like Cool Keith and stuff like the J.
Yeah. Yo, fuck mixing.
Time for that.
Yeah. It sounds how it sounds, and then he just puts it on the rap tape.
It's coming out when it's done, son.
Hey, you know, there are actually people that are anxious about that movie because it's supposed to be running like 93 minutes. I think it might just live up to what it needs to do. 93 minutes isn't bad.
Wait, Venom or fucking Spider-Man?
No, Venom. That Spider-Man movie is going to be long. You can tell it's going to be long.
Yeah, it's going to be really long.
It's going to be.
I'm actually okay with that.
Private Ryan.
It's going to be longer than fucking Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Hey, at least with that Zack Snyder. Oh man, that's fucking loose. At least with that Zack.
They call him Toby, and he's like, "My name's Peter Parker."
I'm sorry, is this the right set?
He's like, am I on the wrong movie? What the fuck is this? He's the Root. He's the one white slave.
Wow. You know, at least with Zack Snyder's Justice League, though, they did manage to take a shit movie and just make it good.
Well, that's funny. The fucking funniest thing about that, though, is that was the movie, and then they took that, and then they let Joss Whedon fucking go no Jimmy hat on it and fucking.
See, now why you gotta take my shit and then apply it to him, man? You know, fuck that. That's all.
He pulled a Weenie Houdini on them.
No, he didn't, man. He got his dick punched in. As far as I'm concerned. You know, Joss Whedon got all sorts of fucked up after that.
Yeah,
that's the guy who gave you the first two Avengers movies.
Well, see, going to Al's point though, that's the thing is, if you watch Justice League, it's not that much different than the first Avengers movie.
Yeah,
the way he tried to build it, right? Like the way he tried to pace it out.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's what I'm saying. Like if we look back on these movies, people tend to look at this Marvel saga as almost fucking perfect, and I have disagreed with that forever.
No, it's not perfect at all, dude. Not at all.
You know,
like if it wasn't for like this,
it was a giant cluster mess, honestly.
I mean, if it wasn't for like the solo films, we wouldn't care about those team films as much. Like, see, Al actually, whoa. Anyway, like what I'm saying is,
I gotta go.
Well, you see, Al didn't watch any of the solo movies. He watched the Avengers movie straight.
Yeah, that's all you gotta really watch.
The thing is, it's like it's not really all that good by itself, you know. Because that was the whole point. Like all those first movies were to lead you to that Avengers movie. Then all the Avengers afterwards was to lead you to Thanos' whole thing.
Is it funny to anyone else that when Captain Marvel came out, that's when everyone was finally like, you don't have to see every single one of the movies. You can just catch it with the Avengers ones. It's fine.
Yeah, well, the way Brie Larson was going about shit, you know.
But also to be fair, like with like Captain Marvel, it was like before any of the other ones. You know what I mean? So like, so you could kind of get away with not seeing it.
Yeah, because you didn't learn anything from that fucking movie.
No, except for squirrels, and that's about it.
Squirrels.
That's they might as well have been because the movie was nuts.
That'd have been. Oh, hey, everybody, give Jay a little clap. All right.
Don't you golf clap me, you jerk.
I like that one.
Yeah, but you know, pretty much they did the Kree Skrull War thing in there, and they watered that shit down. I was like,
I mean, you can't even call that a war. It was like 2 fight scenes. Like it wasn't. That's the one thing too is.
But they also set it up so that like maybe we would see more of them later on. It was kind of like a big tease.
And it was because,
but we haven't though, right? Like we haven't seen them ever since.
No, that was like the first and only time that we've seen them.
I mean, it's like you took one of the best Avengers storylines once again, and you just fucked it over for this movie that nobody wanted to see.
Yeah. I remember watching Avengers Endgame and people fucking booing when she showed up at the end fight.
Yeah, but everybody clapped when she got cold cocked, didn't she?
Yes. It was fucking crazy to me. Like it was just like it was almost like having a crowd literally cheer on like the physical abuse of a woman.
Yes.
Like they were like,
what's wrong with that?
Oh shit.
Well, let's ask Al. Al, what is wrong with that?
Wait, what?
Okay. That's good.
No, it was just so funny because she flies in that last scene, and I remember the audience in this packed theater is just like, oh, right.
And then boom.
She gets clocked, and people are like, yeah, fucking yay, get her the fuck out of here.
The real villain of the story is dead.
Yeah, I know. That'd have been sick.
All right, we can go home now.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to stay for, just to watch Captain Marvel get punched in the head.
That's it. Oh, and then that whole scene where they had all the girls come together for that moment, I was like, oh shit, really?
Yeah, that was
forced.
That was like subliminal marketing, and people didn't go for it, so they didn't fucking make that movie.
I mean, that's just like what Rey did at the end of Last Jedi. Look, guys, this is what I can do to boulders.
Cool. I can't wait till you're fighting rock people. It's gonna be really.
I'm the most powerful Jedi ever.
Do you think that they make more Star Wars movies?
Yes.
Oh, fucking.
I mean, I don't know.
Bunch of side stories.
If the characterizations are good, and if they actually have a plan this time, maybe. But even then, it just seems like more or less like, oh, this is a brand. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. They're doing cookie cutter shit. And that's the thing. That's what kills it. Like Finn. What was Finn's motivation after Force Awakens? You know, little things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned him into Tom Cruise. He was just like constantly screaming and running.
Yeah, pretty much like the Tom Cruise from The Mummy.
Like, yeah, he's he sounded like fucking Hank Hill half the time. He was yeah.
Come on, Al. You know it's true.
Yeah. No, I mean, for Star Wars, if they actually wanted to like do a movie, that would be right. I stand by it. Like, just do make Shadows of the Empire an actual movie. Like, it's pretty much like everybody wants it to be like kind of a real thing in Star Wars, anyways.
I mean, it kind of was, if you think about it. Back in the day, it had like this whole damn media experience, man.
Do you guys ever wonder why they keep blowing their fucking creative wad on these cartoons for like the Disney Channel? Then, like, why do they keep doing that? Why aren't they getting those people to fucking write some of these movies?
Well, considering who's in charge at Lucasfilms, that's a whole big thing too. I don't know if you've noticed like all the controversy surrounding that, because they got like this High Republic thing that's supposed to be taking place, and nobody's buying the books and shit. Matter of fact, people are hating this stuff, and it's landing at like bargain bin places all over. They cannot sell this shit
next to those thick guys DVDs. Yeah,
it's like above and beyond woke now over there at Star Wars.
Well, I don't even think it's just the woke thing that's annoying. It's also the aspect that Star Wars is just as much as I hate to say it's just in general not the cool thing anymore, because such a big corporation owns it now.
Well,
I mean, do you think they played it out?
Same could be saying for Star Trek too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I don't talk about Star Trek that much anymore. Like, it's so. The other problem too is it's so oversaturated now that nobody like gives a shit. It's really funny because it's kind of like gaming where everyone's like, oh man, I can't wait for all this to get big. Then it gets big. It's like, oh yeah, no, this sucks. We don't want this.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to play Fall Guys. Sick.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, Among Us. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Hardcore gamer. I'm gonna play fucking I don't know.
Yeah, but Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is getting remastered. Maybe they're in talks. It could happen. Come on.
It's I know exactly what I was saying, because I feel like Star Wars to me, like a lot of these like legacy franchises, they have like the same existence to me that like SpongeBob has, where it's just like now it's so fucking like everywhere that it's almost like not important. Like it's so big, it's not important. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but a long time ago, Star Wars used to be just this event. You know what I mean? Like it used to be a big deal when it was on TNT and all that stuff. And now that Disney owns it, it's everywhere. It has to be thrown at you in front all the time. The most you saw about it was like the merchandise and stuff, and it just kills the joy of it. Not to mention the many recuts of the movies.
Yeah, remember how huge the Force before everyone was disappointed, how huge the Force Unleashed was going to be on like PS3 and 360, and George Lucas was like, this is an actual part of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And like the hype was unreal. Now, if Disney does something like that, no one's going to give a crap.
Well, yeah, like what I was saying earlier, it's like, that happened along with Shadows of the Empire. Then Force Unleashed happened. And then they try and do the same thing with the High Republic, and nobody's buying it. Nobody gives a shit about the High Republic. And they even tried as far as to say, hey, we're bringing KOTOR back. And now they got somebody in charge of that does not like the original KOTOR, but somehow is in control of it.
Yeah, I think they're playing like revisionist history. And I feel like that's probably why I mean, because let's be frank, like if Shang-Chi like captures the box office, like what the fuck else is out at the movie theaters? Nothing.
There's no competition, so of course they're gonna be number one.
So like for me, it's a matter of like, I feel like for them to create a character that's like, oh, this is the 10 rings. It goes back to like Iron Man 1. It's literally like it's like that concept. It's revisionist history to erase something that was already established. Because now Shang-Chi, they're gonna try to make him more important than fucking Iron Man. Right, because technically he is more important than Iron Man because Shang-Chi's daddy is the reason why the 10 rings exist, right? Like,
and also because they need something to replace Iron Man.
Right. And you know what's stronger than state-of-the-art technological weapons defense armor? A Chinese man.
Yeah. That's how you stop Asian hate.
Yeah,
well, even China itself did not want that movie, and they were making fun of the main guy who was playing as Shang-Chi. It's like, he's not handsome enough and all that stuff. Like, this is a real thing too.
God damn.
Yeah.
They did not want this fucking movie.
How do they tell him apart? I'm just kidding. That's it.
And then like they said this. Like,
I like it. I know I'm in trouble when Al goes, "Oh, dude, no way."
Yeah. And then like,
now you gone done it. Good
now you gone done it, boy.
And then like, Eternals is supposed to be coming, and like a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, we're fans of this now because they got women in charge on that." I was like, "That's the
does
only
anybody
reason?"
care? But does anybody here care about the Eternals?
I thought it was going to be an ABC show. I thought it was.
So did I.
Yeah, I thought
it looks like an ABC show.
It looks like fucking shit. It looks like shit.
You know what it reminds me of?
I thought it was replacing like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever that shit was.
It could have been.
What is it?
But it reminds me of the Inhumans.
Is it the Immortals?
No, the Inhumans.
There we go.
Yeah.
That crazy shit.
They even had that show. They even had that show Ghost Rider on ABC for a long time too,
right? Oh yeah, there we go again. But God, Inhumans could have been good if they just focused on making that a movie
or making it not shit.
No. Well, you see,
it could have. Dude, Breaking Bad was great. It wasn't a movie. Like, there's ways to fucking make it good.
No, but for real, like, what I'm saying is that Inhumans is already an established brand. Nobody knows shit about the Eternals. People know who the hell Black Bolt and Medusa are. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And they fucked it completely. Because I think Ike Puttermeyer was like this. He's like, we're going to take the first 2 episodes and put them in IMAX theaters. I was like, are you insane?
Are you fucking retarded?
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, why the fuck would you do
Shark?
that? Like,
shit.
Like, if anything, if you're gonna make it a show, make it a show. But if you're not gonna make it a show, like, come on,
keep it out of the fucking theaters. Yeah,
yeah.
That whole thing was like weird, really.
But that's when Marvel was like sucking its own dick. Like it thought it was more important than it was, and I think what people I don't think really understand too is like that bubble was gonna have to pop at some point, right? So like. It's kind of crazy to think about it that way, where it's like, and to kind of even go back to like the Zack Snyder like Blu-ray 4K versions being like the top fucking selling Blu-ray right now, right? Mm-hmm. If there's like 37 million copies of that sold, those Blu-rays are like fucking $30, $35, depending on where you go, right?
Usually, yeah.
That's way more than an independent movie ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what's happening too is like, kind of like what Al felt way back when was just like, these are way overblown. Some over time, these things will kind of be seen for what they are. And I feel like what we've noticed too is like, there's this cash grab that is less veiled than like fan service now. Now it's just like, well, then I guess you don't want to see progressive comic book characters. It's like, no, that's not what that is.
That's not what you're saying at all. You're saying like it's just the hype kills the movie.
Yeah, because if that was true and no one cared, like my biggest frustration was like Daredevil was so good that should have been a movie, right?
Yeah,
but I think what ends up happening is this shit is too good to compete with Avengers because an audience who had the option to see both in the same year or the same summer would have probably been like, man, depending on if a Daredevil movie came out before Avengers, people would have been like, oh, this Avengers movie is fucking for kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And then there goes half the audience immediately.
Well, not only that, but like at least with Daredevil, you pretty much like have one character to keep a track of. Whereas like on Avengers, you're like, gee, when's my favorite showing up and all that kind of stuff? Who's the villain they're fighting? And you know, you got to try to squeeze so much in some running time, but at least with, you know, Daredevil or Luke Cage or anything, you had room to grow with. And even the Punisher show, like Punisher should definitely be a show because considering all that he handles.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's got the ability to be like that procedural weekly show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, technically Ghost Rider could have been like that.
Could have been,
maybe. Yeah. Just collecting souls, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah. They should have just followed through on that instead of just hesitating.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All this Marvel shit, I think, is like, I mean, you heard kind of pessimistic people for a long time even say like it was going to ruin movies as a whole, and it kind of did for a while. It
did when they tried to make every company had to have their own shared universe.
Yeah,
I was like, why be different? Yeah. Variety is the spice of life. I say it all the time on my shows. I'm like,
why do I need this shit?
But Universal was so close, Jay. Universal was so close to bringing it back.
What bring what back?
Their universe, the dark universe.
Oh, that was bullshit, and you know it. Come on, man. We talked about that all the time.
It was close, Jay. That Mummy movie was gonna.
That Mummy, no, dude. Actually, Dracula Untold was supposed to be a part of that too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
that could have been intriguing.
You know, wasn't Johnny Depp was supposed to play the Invisible Man too, right?
Yeah.
He would have just been a bunch of scarves and bracelets.
yeah.
So he would have just been playing himself?
Yeah, it's been fucking drunk Johnny Depp walking around getting smacked in the face by Amber Heard.
Well, you know, the whole Amber Heard thing would have been that is the movie right there.
That'd have been sick.
But you know, the thing is though, like, what was the whole point of that? Like, were they all going to come together and try to fight against some other creature or some shit? Was that
because point? Wasn't Russell Crowe technically Dr. Jekyll?
He was Dr. Jekyll, and like I said, and I talked to somebody else not too long ago, and that was like the most interesting part of that whole movie. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like here's the thing: like shared universes are one thing. Like everybody kind of mocked Fast and Furious forever ago when it tried to do it. Remember, like when all of a sudden they were in Tokyo and people were like, "This is so stupid! Like, why do I even care about Tokyo?" And then they were kind of like, fucking never mind. And they just went right back to like the Vin Diesel story or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then now like the Tokyo thing is beloved because like people realize, oh shit, like they were doing this way before Marvel even did this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, but to be fair, like, you know, going back to Universal and like their whole Universal horror thing, like they've done it before, you know, everybody too, but they wanted to go ahead and recapture that. And I was like, don't do that, man. Like, be different. Like, give people something different. You give them the same about everything, then they're going to always pine and want it, which is what they're doing right now. Like, you look at the DCEU, that could have been fine, but, you know?
I mean, the biggest mistake, too, is, like, look what happened with Warner Brothers and fucking with the Justice League thing, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now you have this fucking phenomenon on your hands, and it's, like, the best-selling 4K Blu-ray, like, of all time ever now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought nobody liked this movie. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. So people are going to pay $35 for the fucking DVD, but nobody liked it. And remember, it didn't exist at one point.
Right.
Like,
well, you know, AT&T, like whoever's running AT&T obviously didn't know what the hell they had. So that's why they're acting that way. And they said, oh, this is the most expensive. We won't make any money off of this. But it's like, you will. You're in the right time, in the right market for it. You just are too stupid to know.
I mean, do you think companies like Marvel have fallen into, because let's be honest, at one point EA was making a great football game, correct?
At one point.
And then eventually over time, when you become the dominant football game and you almost buy your way into no compete marketplaces, like at that rate, you're bound to kind of almost like trip yourself, right? Like you kind of look at that model where even Call of Duty kind of falls into it, especially with like Cold War, right? Where like they were so big, it's the only shooter this year. There's no fucking Halo. There's no Battlefield yet. This is what you get, right? And so, do you think that in a way is kind of that framework that all these companies kind of fall into. You think you're the biggest person on the block in terms of what you can offer. And then technically you kind of almost reveal your cards to your audience because you feel like you have that trust to be able to, like, where Madden doesn't really hide the fact that it's like pay to win online against people, right? Like, and same with like NBA 2K series, they don't hide it at all. They're just like, well, you're gonna fucking do it. Kind of the same with like the Marvel thing. Like, well, I mean, you can bitch about when Black Widow comes out, but if you paid to see it on the app or you went to go see it in the theater, like, you kind of did what we need you to do anyways.
So pretty much like just showcasing and flexing when you shouldn't.
Yeah, because I think that's what's happening now. Because now you look at that, especially with stuff like Black Widow and Shang-Chi, is like they came out, but like how we're all saying, like, why now? And for what? Like, isn't there a Spider-Man movie? Like, why do I give a shit about Shang-Chi?
Exactly.
Like, I thought Spider-Man was supposed to be like the new head of the Avengers, right? This is where the story's going.
Well, at one time they said that, but you know, they probably did a lot of backpedaling because, you know, they're also having to, like, who's making the money off of Spider-Man films? It's Sony, right? Because that's their deal, right? Like,
Yeah,
they make the money off of it, and like Disney makes like the merch money off of it. So yeah, they want, you know, them, they want all the money, dude. That's why they're using those characters right now. Hey, Salma Hayek's in Eternals. Oh, okay, yeah, let's go see that.
Okay, I'm in now.
Yeah, she is. Is that for real?
Yeah, she's actually in there. God knows what role she's playing, but yeah, she's in there.
She's playing Frida,
the one that shows the tits. But anyway.
Oh, well, I mean,
hey, like, sex sells, man.
If you got to cast somebody.
No. Oh, by the way, allegedly Jessica Rabbit's problematic now. I don't know how the hell it is, but apparently she's a problem, and they got like this toned down version of her for like this new Disneyland ride or something. So yeah, apparently like a cartoon female is a problem for modern audiences. You know, the Puritans.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I know.
What? Why now? Like, why now? Like, why right now? Like, you know,
I don't know, man. I mean, these are the same people that complain about Lola Bunny. I mean, like, you're not supposed to be dating Lola Bunny. That's Bugs Bunny's girlfriend, right? Like, the hell are you all worried about?
I just don't. Did you guys see Space Jam 2?
I saw it. I really, like, one way or another, I didn't lose anything in it. I'm like, oh, it is what it is. You know,
it was okay.
It's a fucking kids movie. You know, like,
like they make these.
I made the mistake of watching it, and God, I really wish I hadn't, because it's just like they just took a giant shit on the original. You know,
why LeBron James put an acting clinic on, dude?
Yeah, for AIDS.
Well, you know, the thing is, it's like
acting AIDS. What surprised me is like behind the scenes pictures showed that he had a fucking stunt double to play cartoon characters.
Yeah. Isn't it hilarious though?
Like, that should have been it right there. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
I mean,
what are we doing?
It kind of makes sense, right? Like, he's not going to risk his, like, potentially injuring himself on set.
Well, you know, that explains how he won the finals, right?
Yeah.
Saved up all that energy.
Yeah, well, you know, he had to rest, man. Cramps.
That's what he did to rest. He just made Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he had to sit down eventually.
Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, I think those are those cash grabs that are obvious. Like, Space Jam 2 was, I watched it and I felt a little perturbed, just a little mad of like, why did you even spend all this money on this stupid thing?
Oh, for nostalgia, man. Like, remember I said it before, like they had Iron Giant and all of the different properties they owned going to watch this basketball game. Like, you saw like the Hanna-Barbera characters, like the Flintstones and the Jetsons, they were on their way there. Yeah. Along with the Droogs from A Clockwork Orange watching it. I'm like, for
they
real?
They even had like fucking Jim Carrey's The Mask in the background. Like, all these properties that you didn't know that they bought over time. And you're just what What the
Yeah,
fuck?
the whole thing was like, if anything, a Warner Brothers stroke. So, you know?
Yeah, it was like in the mind of a seizure of a Warner Brothers executive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Don Cheadle too. Like, damn, is that what we're gonna have to do when there's no fucking Iron Man movies?
Yeah.
Well, he's
Space Jam
supposed to be
2?
getting a show. It's called Armored Wars, based off of that comic series.
Isn't Don Cheadle's character paralyzed technically?
Well,
Yeah.
he's back in action now, so it doesn't really matter anymore.
Well, yeah, because the suit does everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
But yeah, he's technically paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But
he's
once
handy
again,
capable.
continuity
very
is
handy
not a
capable.
factor anymore because, well, while I didn't see Shang-Chi, I also did take a look at because this is the internet, man. People leak stuff everywhere. I saw the post-credit thing, allegedly Bruce Banner's Bruce Banner again. So it's so that whole Professor Hulk shit ain't really a thing.
Oh,
okay. Well, so what was the point?
Yeah, nothing. Just to have a Hulk on the team.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it just took place before he finally became one with himself. I don't know.
Wait, he became one with himself? Oh, the Hulk, right?
Yeah, the whole Professor Hulk thing, which, by the way, they nerfed the Hulk something awful. Let's just be honest.
The issue with that is at the end of the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, didn't they pretty much facilitate the obvious fact that he learned how to control it?
At least a lot better than what he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just really confused as to how the Avengers just kept trying to make that seem like that was a fucking plot line.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we figure this out fucking 15 years ago, however long these fucking movies have been around?
Hey man, for a long time they were acting like they look, in the team films, Spider-Man can fight and has the spider sense. In his own films, he didn't even have spider sense.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
He just got a tingling sensation, but
the Peter. He had a fucking wet dream, and he was like, "Whoa!"
The Peter tingle, yeah.
The Peter tingle, is that like the Weenie Houdini?
It might as well be if you're going to use innuendos all over. It might as well be because he hardly used it except for that part in what was it, Far From Home?
Yeah,
and then he had to beat Mysterio, and still even then he lost.
Imagine hot ass Aunt May going Peter, you getting tingly again?
Yeah.
Well, technically she did say that.
She did.
Yeah. And
I got a little tingly.
Yeah. I squirted. I mean, shot.
Yeah. Squirted all over Zendaya.
I went, yeah, no thanks, bro. You get that one. You can take it.
Hell no, man. I was riding your joke. Fuck off. No,
hell no. I don't. Yeah, could someone explain to me the fucking appeal of Zendaya? Is that what it is?
Well, yeah. She's God, she came off of that Disney property, didn't she? It was called Zapped or something.
They found her walking around the property. They were like, "Hey, get over here!" Some bum.
Well, yeah, she kind of came she came from let's just say she came from Disney, and she's been in a whole lot of movies since. And then I guess somebody saw something in her, or the Spider-Man movie really propelled her to where she is now. Because she was in that one movie with what Denzel Washington's son or something like that. She was in a whole bunch of other movies, and she's in Dune too.
Yeah, I don't understand. She was a fine actress or whatever. That's not the issue.
But you just don't see the appeal, right?
I don't see how this even matches. She looked like a grown adult in those fucking 10th grader classes he was in. Or however old he's supposed to be. How old is he supposed to be? The fuck?
15, no?
The character's supposed to be 15, but it's 17 now. And I don't know. Why the hell would you go to high school Spider-Man of all characters either? The college Spider-Man was always better.
Yeah, because he kind of knew what he was doing.
Yeah. He kind of had a career path and a goal in mind, right?
Yeah, and then most people related to him at that point anyway.
Plus, he was also able to balance, both his lives.
That's what I loved about the fucking Sam Raimi movies, dude. Is they gave you high school for about 15 minutes, and they were like, nah, but the rest of his the comics are about him fucking trying to exist.
Yeah.
Like, not being ultra rich and just being a fucking regular dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then like the villains were much more interesting too. Like you had the Jackal, you had you had Venom and Carnage came a lot later, but you also had Rhino, you had Mysterio, you had you know what I mean? Like the characters had like deeper problems and stuff like that. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like I know they were going for that with like the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and it kind of got lost along the way because like they went kind of like Jim Carrey's Riddler with Electro a little bit, right?
A little bit.
They just gave him like some funny little accident, and then he was like, "Oh, look at me, I'm silly."
Well, he's supposed to be crazy.
I get that, but like, did you get that from Jamie Foxx in that performance? He was trying to be too cool to be crazy.
Well, like at the beginning when he was just Max Dillon, loser, and pretty much, like, yeah, I got the image of that because the way he was. But the thing is, there was like really no motivation in the end except for him trying to get revenge on everybody after he became Electro. And even then, he didn't go after people from Oscorp.
Yeah, he
went straight after Spider-Man.
Yes, yeah, that part confused the shit out of me.
And Spidey didn't even know who the hell he was.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude. It's like a one-sided feud.
It's literally like fighting like the hobo that you have to walk past that's like screaming at himself, but like if he just makes eye contact with you, you're involved somehow.
Hey man, don't do that. You're triggering me right now. So that reminds me of a story that happened to me. I'm waiting for a bus in Westwood, right? Minding my own business. And this guy comes up to me and he says that I stole his backpack. I'm trying to ignore him. But like he has it set in his mind that I have his backpack. He smacks my Walkman that I had at the time, and God. He's trying to fight me over a backpack. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
Did you take my soda? Like that? He's just like screaming random shit.
Yeah, and I was just like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's essentially what fucking the Amazing Spider-Man was. It's some guy like, you took my backpack.
Yeah, and the first one was so good though. I mean, especially when it was, but of course the first one was him versus Lizard. So yeah. When you focus on like the hero and the villain, make sure you know who the hell the villain is, because it's like Electro was the villain of that movie. That was supposed to be his thing, and then you go ahead, you lump the Osborns in it. And then you lump Rhino in there, even though Rhino's only in it for like the last few bits of
10 seconds.
Yeah.
What was it? What was that fucking like disease, quote unquote, that the Osborns had? Like, what was that shit?
They did not specify it entirely, but allegedly it's making him look like the Goblin almost.
Right.
He's Norman.
It's a skin deteriorating thing, right?
Yeah, it was like that. Something to deal with the blood or something, but
yeah.
Even then it was like a plot line that didn't go anywhere.
But then they made it seem like it was the bulk of the movie. Like they had him and fucking, what is it?
Dane DeHaan.
Yeah, Harry hanging out and shit. And then you're just like, okay, I guess this is the movie. And then like the election
probably had a rash or something.
Yeah.
Shoot, that would have made a lot more sense.
he had green eczema.
Yeah,
that'd be sick. He calls him the Knob Goblin.
He had to find something else to do other than stalk Gwen Stacy around all the time in costume. By the way, I was like, "What the hell is this?"
And then they kind of did the same thing in the game.
Yeah.
Right, but like instead they're making him like Venom.
Oh yeah.
Which is equally as weird, but
like the romantic subplots in Spider-Man, they vary, especially in film. But it's like Spider-Man doesn't have to do this. Usually he swings around thinking about this crap or tells us what's on his mind. But the thing is, it's like, nah, this is not what Spider-Man's supposed to be doing.
Spider-Man's monologue is, "Dear audience, should I finger Gwen Stacy tonight or nah?"
Or nah.
Well, what's
should
really
I do my
funny?
Homework or should I finger blast Gwen Stacy?
Yeah.
Well, it's really funny.
Last time I did that, my web shooter smelled funny for weeks.
Well, yeah, but he enjoyed it though because he had to always keep refilling it. But needless to say,
ew.
But like when it gets right down to that though, he That whole thing was just really, really messed up because, like, he even said at the end of the first Amazing Spider-Man, like, some promises are worth breaking. So that would tell you right there he's going to continue to see Gwen. But then in the second one, he breaks up with Gwen at a Chinese restaurant in the first five minutes of the movie. I was like, what the fuck?
That's where Shang-Chi comes in?
Might as well.
The Chinese restaurant?
It was his restaurant.
Yeah, the 10 rings.
Well, actually, he worked as a valet, didn't he? Or, I don't know.
Damn. Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
allegedly he did. I mean,
you know what sucks as a creative, all the visuals in the Amazing Spider-Man, like the suit, like the look of the suit and shit. I dug all that. Like the ending shot of the Amazing Spider-Man dude is fucking like nerd porn.
Amazing. Yeah.
Like the shot of him. I had that poster as a kid, by the way. I know exactly what that shot is. It's from a comic book cover.
It
when
is.
They launched the Amazing Spider-Man, and it's like a, I think it might be, if not drawn by Todd McFarlane, heavily inspired by his posing of Spidey, right? Like just and like fucking nuts, dude. I saw that shot and I was like, this is dope. And then the next one came out. I'm like, what is this? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, but the saving grace of Amazing Spider-Man 2 had to be the suit. That suit was definitely Spider-Man. That was the fucking thing right there. Like that was the visuals of it too. Like how, the setup to the fight scenes are stupid, but like the fight scenes themselves as like a Spider-Man fan are fucking rad. Amazing.
You know, and like it makes me worried because like, they're gonna bring back like Green Goblin, right, for No Way Home. And then obviously it's Doc Ock.
Yeah.
And then do they do anything with Electro? Is he for sure going?
Oh yeah, he's in it. There were lightning bolts and everything, but this time it's like it's yellow lightning bolts, and allegedly it's supposed to be something different, but I don't know. It remains to be seen. But all I know is this: like, if you already got Doc Ock, you don't need the Goblin in there because that's just
overkill.
That's too much. Yeah.
He's like, Electro's like, they sent me to Haiti, but joke's on them. I fucking got right back.
Damn.
But you don't need like, because Green Goblin never really was part of the Sinister Six.
No.
So it's like, what are you doing?
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, but for some reason, like Sony insists that he be a part of it.
Yeah, fan service.
And that's what I kind of like, as flawed as like Raimi's Spider-Man 3 is because of like studio interference. I do like Harry redeeming himself at the end of that, right? Because it's almost like not allowing Green Goblin. Like Raimi as a Spider-Man fan was like, one thing I will not do is let Green Goblin be like one of the Sinister Six guys.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I'd rather have them fighting alongside each other than against each other in this like Venom Sandman battle or whatever.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense actually.
And that's what that's my biggest issue with like the Spider-Man shit right now for me. Is like they made him young as if that just gives it heart, and it really doesn't for me. Does that make sense?
Well, it puts him on like a bench if you think about it.
I thought it was like a longevity thing.
Yeah.
They wanted him to be Spider-Man for as long as like physically possible.
Like literally till he dies.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, okay, Andrew Garfield is a completely underrated Peter Parker. I'll just say that too.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And I feel like if you see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield next to Tom Holland, people are not going to want Tom Holland ever again. That's the problem. And like, I understand what Disney's doing with like okaying it, but I think I know what Sony's doing a little more. I think Sony might even say, hey, audiences really didn't like Tom Holland next to Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire. What if we just picked up an Andrew Garfield fucking Spider-Man movie?
I'll take it.
I mean, they could do it.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, isn't Tom Holland really only signed to 3 pictures with Sony specifically, like 3 standalone Spider-Man movies?
Yeah, this is supposedly his last one. So
yeah. And that's what I'm saying is like, what are the fucking odds like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield get a Spider-Man movie with Sony? And like Tom Holland is just like background Spider-Man for fucking Disney.
Well, he kind of was background Spider-Man for even in his own movies. I was like, shit,
Yeah.
Yeah. The coolest thing for me was seeing Vulture kind of pretty much brandish a gun at Peter Parker. In the back of a car. That was kind of sick.
I mean, if you get in my way.
Yeah, I will kill you. It's
Yeah.
like, oh
I will
shit.
kill you dead.
Yeah.
And
To me,
everyone you love.
The only way that movie would have earned my fucking respect is if you shot Peter like in the leg as like a warning, right? Because you're not trying to kill him. You know he's got some sort of powers. You know he'll be all right.
Or in the pinky toe.
Right, but or in the foot, like give him the Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, go on, Marco.
No, because I just figured like you would have handicapped him a little bit to fucking make sure your plan succeeded, right? Like he wasn't gonna die.
Right, but you would wound him, you know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of like, makes an interesting third act, I guess.
Yeah, it gives him like one ultimate thing to overcome, which is pain.
Right.
Like, he hasn't had it before. Like, wow, he pulled a boat together. Fucking who gives a shit. Right.
That's another thing. They really get off on having him in a crucifix kind of style, right? Like, because Spider-Man 2 must have been really groundbreaking for the time. Like, to stop that train, he had to be in the same pose. To put together a boat, he had to be in the same pose.
Yeah, they had to give him the derp face for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, they had to do all that stuff. And that same subplot has to be in all of the video games, where you have to stop this monumental thing from happening. But then you realize you're Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is technically a strong superhero anyway. So yeah, we can do this.
No one, like, I don't know. I feel like, do you think the limiting nature of forcing Spider-Man to have to be amongst or around the Avengers fucks it up? Because like, okay, the Venom franchise of movies could be off to like a weird start, right?
But yeah,
like the potential from there is like, what if this next Venom is really good? Okay. And then after that, you're kind of like, oh, this is kind of more fun, like having its own little universe of issues, right? Like his own little things to overcome. Because when like Far From Home was happening, and then like you obviously know it's going to lead back to Tony Stark he left his wallet with a note in it on how to make holographs that fucking look real and shit. And then you're like, okay, we can't keep doing this though. Like, there's no fucking way we can just keep making it acts of happenstance like that.
Right.
Like where these last names and people's like lineages keep getting brought up. Like the 10 rings, sure. But like the Mysterio tie to like the Tony Stark company, right? Like, oh, I've designed the fucking algorithm that built the hologram systems. And you're just like, this is kind of stupid.
It's too convenient, right?
Yeah, it's ultimately too convenient. And like, do you think that also becomes a big old fat negative for those movies? Because by that stake, we will never be able to have like a fucking Spider-Man Venom movie, because there's no fucking way to tie Venom to fucking Tony Stark or the Avengers to make it interesting for someone to see Tom Holland fight Tom Hardy.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, like, more or less you realize that most of Spider-Man's problems are more or less like Tony's problems. Like, more or less like the scars of Tony Stark are affecting Peter Parker's story. That's kind of the way it is, and the way they got it all set up. Like in the first movie, like when Spider-Man had an AI, I was like, why does Spider-Man need a friggin' AI?
I don't know. Like, that I don't understand. And like the whole Foggy Nelson shit, where like it's his, like now he's Uncle Ben, right?
Yeah.
Like that stuff to me just almost like fucking infuriates me.
Because, like, Spider-Man's, oh, sorry to interrupt you, man, but Spider-Man is okay as a team player, but he's better as a solo hero. Like, I like him better as a solo hero. I like it when he does team up, but I love him better as a solo hero because I know he's got his own problems, his own section of the universe, and he does the right thing generally. And his villains are actually one of the top 3 rogues galleries in comicdom.
That's funny. Yeah, for sure. Like, probably like I would say tied with like Batman's rogues gallery, right? Of characters that you fucking recognize.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just funny because like I was having this conversation with somebody where I said, like, Captain America is a cool character.
He is.
But outside of the Avengers movies, you can't really list villains for him.
I mean, you can, but it's like this. people have had to have read that comic or been about that character to really know them.
And that's what I'm saying is like,
You know?
Captain America is not like, you know who Captain America is, right?
Right.
But like your average kid doesn't even know who Captain America's arch nemesis is, because technically
it's racism.
Yeah. It's fucking Trump.
Oh
and so
boy.
with me, it's like
9/11.
His big bad guy's it's the Twin Towers. He's fighting the Twin Towers. My thing is like, they killed Red Skull off immediately, only to make him like some fucking like NPC player character shit in like an Avengers movie randomly 10 years later.
Yeah, as if like a gatekeeper.
As if anybody fucking remembered too.
I mean, you know, the thing is, like, I used to read Captain America comics, so I would know, you know what I mean? So I was like, hey, he's still alive. But if Cap went back to take the stones back, what was that meeting like? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like that is the funniest thing. Like they gave us like Captain America villains and for 4 seconds at a time. Like literally for one of the movies, and this should show you how much the audience doesn't know the villains or how many stories maybe there aren't that interesting to tell with Captain America, is that for literally one of his movies, they had to fucking make the bad guy Tony Stark.
Yeah, because they had to shoehorn that whole Civil War subplot in there.
Right. You know, and for me, it's like, what the actual fuck is happening right now?
I mean,
because it wasn't even like a civil war where like nations chose heroes. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even anything close to that. It was literally just two guys fighting
and having a disagreement over something that neither one of them could control.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, and that's true to form, because a lot of people break out in hives over things they have no control over. And you would think that you could have reasonable talk, but nah. And if anything, they pretty much were doing like the whole ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend thing, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what it was. And that's my problem with the MCU in general, because you're taking like different villains out of established character rogues galleries and you're having them all do the Doctor Doom thing. So like there's no real interest for like Doctor Doom at that point if we get him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because what would Doctor Doom do differently than any other bad guy so far?
Right.
Nothing. Like what would the Fantastic Four do differently outside of what the Avengers can already do?
Yeah.
You know?
Like who are they going to face off against? I mean, you could say Galactus, but at the end of the day, wouldn't Galactus be like a universe Marvel wide threat? So they all have to come together anyway to try to take him down.
Right. Exactly. You know, so yet again, we'll need a bunch of portals at the end, and then they all have to come out and everyone's got to punch Galactus in the dick, and then he flies away. And
unless they decide to make him a giant cloud again.
Yeah, which was a very smart idea, Fox. Way to go with that one, because you needed some realism. You got his dude on a skate. You got his dude on a surfboard flying through the cosmos. You want to talk about realism?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was where that Fantastic Four reboot kind of doomed itself. It tried to go too real.
Well, any way to take the Phantom Zone subplot and just really fuck it up. That's how you do it.
That is insane to me. I don't like. That's the worst thing. I think it's like you look at these things, and I'm looking at Shang-Chi, just like it's a movie that I genuinely don't want to watch. It's just like, why?
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. Like, but what's funny is it's like, how can you not do a Fantastic Four movie? It's no different than doing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, if you think about it.
Yeah, but how many predicaments can you put a stretchy guy in?
Well, considering that Reed Richards really doesn't fight, you know, right. he usually thinks and then he fights later, or is like one of his experiments like fuck up and they have to do something about it.
He thinks about fighting.
Yeah, that's usually like the thing with him. Everybody is excited really to see Thing. That's the thing, you know. See?
Yeah. So I mean, like, and that's the other thing too, is like, and that you bring up a good point, because then there's your obvious Tony Stark replacement. Wouldn't it be Reed Richards? Wouldn't it?
Could be,
a guy who's not a fighter but a complete tactician, right? It's just a smart guy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could have it like usually it's always an argument between him and Dr. Doom, or it's always somebody that's either trying to take one of his inventions, or it's like somebody else that's like pretty much Iron Man situations.
Yeah.
So that's 3 movies right there. I mean, somebody could kidnap the prototype of Herbie or something like that, and that could be the thing because Herbie was a robot that Reed Richards designed. So it's like one of those kind of things. I
don't know. I'm curious to see what happens after Shang-Chi because like if anything, I'm more curious to see what happens after Spider-Man. Because then that's actually like the next step, right? Like Shang-Chi's kind of
we're on a hill then at that point. So like whatever's gonna be is gonna be.
Yeah, it's kind of has to be with the story that they've written.
But I'm too busy trying to build the J360 universe where I land in CA and then we see how different things become.
You mean the No Jimmy J universe?